Live from the Titans Soccer Complex on Eastern Florida's Melbourne campus, it's the 2015 NJCAA Division I Women's Soccer Championship Game 10 with the number 6 seed Lewis and Clark Trailblazers battling the 3rd seeded Iowa Central Tritons next. A windy Wednesday here in Melbourne, Florida. The skies have cleared as we're ready for Game 2 of Day 3 here on the East Coast of the Sunshine State. Nick Grunowitz here for NJCAA TV. We thank you for joining our coverage. Lewis and Clark looking to stay alive here in Pool C, while Iowa Central looks to clinch their way to semifinal Friday. Let's check out our player spotlight for this matchup. It's Natalie Oten for Lewis and Clark. The goalkeeper looking to bounce back, gave up her second highest season total of goals this past day, 3 goals in their loss earlier in the tournament. For Iowa Central, it's the other goalkeeper, Nicole Medeiros. Not tested much against Laramie County, gave up just shot at twice, but she's going to be tested here against this high-octane offense of Lewis and Clark. Starting lineups, let's check out the 11s for both of these teams. Lewis and Clark, you take a look, the nation's leading scorer, Nicole Howard, 39 goals, had one in the loss earlier in this tournament. The coaches for both these teams, Tim Rooney, overseeing things at Lewis and Clark, and Kristine Lessa is in her 4th season with Iowa Central. How about the officials? That'll be calling this one between Lewis and Clark and Iowa Central. Our officials for this game, Jamie Willis, Matt Jackson, Brian Bauer, and Ronnie Cowan. As we're ready to get this game underway, number 2 of the day, as I mentioned, number 10 of the tournament. A win for Iowa Central, and they're in for Lewis and Clark. They're going to need a little bit more help. We'll talk to you about that as this one continues. Whistle blows, first touch. We're underway here in Melbourne, Florida. We do appreciate you joining us here on NJCAA TV. Ball out the near side. Iowa Central going in the white jerseys, baby blue shorts, high white socks. They'll move from left to right across your screen. On the other side, Lewis and Clark, blue shirts, white shorts, high blue socks. They're in those jerseys with the white numbers and letters. Ball to the near side, Iowa Central, a toss-in. It'll roll out the near side, and Lewis and Clark will take over here. Lewis and Clark look to be in control of their first game matchup against Laramie County. They were up 1-0 after 45 minutes of play, then gave up 3 unanswered goals in the second half to Laramie County. Fell in that one 3-1. A win over Iowa Central here would give them a chance, though, to advance. The difference, if you have 3 teams that are all 1-1, like Laramie County, if Iowa Central were to lose as well, the difference then is goal differential. So Lewis and Clark would need a win, and a win big, in order to advance. This one knocked out the near side. Toss in for Lewis and Clark. Iowa Central easily took care of Laramie County in their first game, a 4-0 victory. Goals from Jordan Brown, Nicole Wenzel, Tamara Kuros, and Lacey Santos. This one punted up ahead. Iowa Central looking to push here. Trying to turn the corner. That one is knocked out of bounds. Nicole Wenzel, the native of Lincoln, Nebraska, trying to put some pressure on there. Here comes the throw in for Iowa Central while they look for an opportunity here. We mentioned both goalkeepers, the players to keep an eye on during this game. For Lewis and Clark, standing between the pipes, it's Natalie Oten. She gave up her second highest total of goals this year, 3 in that loss in Laramie County. Gave up 4 earlier this year against the host team of this tournament, Eastern Florida State. Ball off to the left side. Iowa Central controls. Back up to the top. An opportunity shot rolled towards the goal. Not much on it. Carolina Arblaze. Couldn't sneak it by Oten. This one easily makes its way to midfield. In our first game of the day, this was true, and here as well. The wind will play a large factor. High gusting winds blowing from right to left across your screen, so into the face of Iowa Central. So they'll quick kick with the wind to their back in the second half. In that Butler-Darton State game, it didn't have much of effect, I guess I would say. Butler didn't score at all with the wind to its back. Scored 3 playing into the wind. This ball knocked out of bounds, but Butler did use it to its advantage in the first half and scored a few opportunities. Lewis and Clark looking for a soft spot in this Iowa Central defense. This one played ahead to Savory. Looking back to the near side for Jordan Brown, couldn't find her. Brown a goal in that win over Laramie County. This ball last touched by Brown, so Lewis and Clark will have the toss in. This one taken away easily. Rose looking for an opportunity. This one sent ahead. Iowa Central sent to the left side. In the box, here's the shot. Oten with the save. Back out in front. Rose can't follow it back in. And the save from Oten. Rose could have had a chance to put that one in. The initial shot by Nicole Wenzel, and she couldn't steer it in either. So Oten tested already, picks up her first save here in the ball game, and it comes just about 5 minutes in. Let's take a look one more time. They find Wenzel on the far side of the box there, all by herself. She winds and fires, and Oten able to volley it up, and then just a mistimed kick from Rose. She had a chance on the volley. Cassidy Foley trying to key this ball in, that one out the touchline. I told you a little bit about Nicole Howard from this Lewis and Clark Trailblazers team. NCAA leader in points and goals, has 39 scores this season. Substitution for Iowa Central. Wenzel will take a seat. Along with Nicole Howard, Cassidy Foley, who's been 1-2 in assists in the nation this year, has 21, picked up an assist in that loss, second to Brianna Camargo of Eastern Florida State. Rolling ball to the near side, this one out of bounds. Who will it go to? Lewis and Clark. Jane Skaggs to toss it in. Finds Foley in the corner, looking for a cross. Able to sneak that one in near the front post, but it's headed out by Iowa Central. Ball left of the box, Foley. Looking to send it in is Kaylee Hill, and that one turned back around. Howard on the sideline, waits for it to roll out. Once again, the ball angled out. I mentioned that wind, no longer really blowing from one end of the field to the other, more of kind of a cross breeze. Still a heavy wind. Iowa Central able to control, and it's out the touchline. The takeaway there, Jordan Brown, a nice job to control it. And Nicole Medeiros will kick this one away. Iowa Central, coached by Christiane Lessa. She's in her 4th season with the team, 55 wins, 13 losses, 3 ties. Medeiros will kick this one away. It's short, once again, into that wind. Santos controlled for a moment. She's upended and a foul called. Iowa Central will take it from there. So the Tritons will have it. Freitas kicks it ahead, played back. Santos over to the far side. That one just gets by Rose. This ball played long. Headed out by the Tritons to the far sideline. That one will get out of play. Freitas does that. And the Trailblazers will have a throw in from that far side. Fennessy does it into the corner. And the cross knocked down there. Rose wants to try to run this down. Does she steer it in bounds? She keeps it. Now Iowa Central wants to go on a bit of a run here. This ball into the middle of the pitch. Sent ahead. Maybe another chance for Iowa Central. Santos out in front. They send to the near side. This is Jordan Brown, her center, knocked away. Brown waiting on it, will settle. Back up top, was looking for a teammate there and just missed her. I believe that was Blaze, yes, that she was looking for. Roballo, looking to turn the corner. Sent in, this is Savory. Roballo now with it. And it knocked out the touchline. Let's see who this goes to. It's a goal kick. Roballo wanted the corner kick. She was headed towards the corner, but it doesn't matter. The goal kick ruled, and Natalie Oten for Lewis and Clark will punt this one away. Just about 10 minutes in, scoreless game. Only one real opportunity so far. It came for Iowa Central. It was Wenzel who had a shot blocked away by Oten, and then the volley by Santos was mistimed. She could have had a chance for a putback. This one sent long for Brown. She's on the run. And it's squared out this near sideline. Brown to toss it in quickly. Blaze, Brown, looking for Santos. Instead, it's touched back to Brown. She's going to head for that touchline. Maybe looking to cross, yes. This one near the top of the box, sent back out by Lewis and Clark. I mentioned that tournament opening loss for Lewis and Clark, 3-1. On top of the box, this one sent to Rose. She's taken down at the top. They say play on. The shot wide to the right. Off the foot of the Tritons. That was Bailey Roche who pulled that one wide to the right post. But that tournament opening loss for Lewis and Clark, 3-1 to Laramie County. They look like they were in control of that game at the end of the first half. Now, they just had one shot in the first half. It found the back of the net, Nicole Howard. They ended up getting outshot 13-2 by Laramie County and lost 3-1. Rose, touch to Santos on top, to the left side. Roche, her shot, that is just wide. Good timing and passing from Iowa Central nearly creates an opportunity for the Tritons to take the lead. Let's take a look one more time here at that last chance. Rose to Santos. Roche just wide. Oten coming out and contesting. Lewis and Clark still looking for its first shot on goal. Ball will go back to Lewis and Clark. That Maria Lagos, her back foot came up on the pass. They'll turn it over. Howard trying to slip by the defender. This one sent out. Andert going to try to chase it down into the corner where Foley sits. Trying to turn the corner. Foley centers it in, but it's cleared out by Iowa Central. On a long run, Santos trying to run it down. This ball pushed into the corner, out the near sideline. And a substitution for Iowa Central. Checking into the ball game is Zoe Hammond. Paige Savory will take a seat for the Tritons. Toss in. Iowa Central once again controls. They send it back. Here's Santos. If there's anything we learned from that Laramie County win for Iowa Central, Caros, who had it there for a moment, and Santos are going to be involved in just about every play. They are all over the field. Howard looking for Foley, waiting for the bounce, trying to circle around, and it's headed out by Abby Bishop. It's going to be a good battle to watch there in the middle of the field. Into Howard, nation's leading goal scorer, couldn't slip by in the sideline. Kaylee Hill will toss it in. Lewis and Clark, the 6th seed in this tournament. Iowa Central, the 3. Trailblazers suffered just their 3rd loss of the season in that tournament opening match to Laramie County. Long ball here. Bailey Roche is going to run it down. Looking for some help. Going to send it to the top. Caros' shot deflects off the back of her own teammate. And Caros settles it again. She's going to fire once again, and that one into the parking lot. Caros teed that one up and sent it off the back of Maria Lagos. Or else that might have had a chance to at least be on goal. May have been on its way up, though. And a little over 15 minutes into this first half, we remain scoreless, Lewis and Clark and Iowa Central. Santos flicks it ahead for Lewis and Clark. Bailey Roche out there, hunting it down. Played ahead well by Iowa Central. Touched back to Roballo. Caros surveying, sends it in. Santos there, headed out by Lewis and Clark, but played back to the near side. This is Jordan Brown, denied well. Trailblazers defense once again sending that out the near side. That was Anna Whitaker. And this will result in a corner kick for Iowa Central. First of the game for either team. They played it short. And hitting the dirt is Roballo. And we'll get another corner kick. That's 2 now for the Tritons. Roballo sent up to the top, headed out the back. And Lewis and Clark will send it back up the far sideline. Long run here, and it's ushered out of bounds by Iowa Central. Abby Bishop just wanted to stop the break. So Iowa Central to toss this ball in. Not many opportunities here for the Trailblazers early. Here come the Tritons. Arblaze hunting for a white jersey, sent ahead. This is to Brown. Played well. Brown didn't settle it well, though. In the box, the battle for it, a foul called. And this will go against Iowa Central. Lewis and Clark's Tessa Wagner. Hitting the turf, was slow to get up, but she's up now. And this one booted away. Sent out the near side. Want to remind you, Select Sports is proud to be the official match ball of the National Junior College Athletic Association. Select Super FIFA Match Ball is used exclusively at all NJCAA soccer championships. Select Sport, inspired by history, but designed for the future. And that Select Sport Super FIFA Match Ball to be tossed in here on the near side for Lewis and Clark. Still looking for a scoring chance, and before the throw-in, they want the substitution. Lewis and Clark making a change. Samantha Fennessy will come out. Coming into the ball game is Haley Todd, the midfielder. This ball out the touchline, and it's a goal kick. Nicole Medeiros will handle it for Iowa Central. Triton 16-1. They've won 7 straight matches. A win here this afternoon would send them to Friday's semifinal. Iowa Central making a substitution. Peyton Carnes into the game. Jordan Brown will take a seat. A couple of long runs for Jordan Brown there. She'll get a bit of a rest. Arblaze, Santos, in the middle of the pitch, will send it over to Roballo. Here's Arblaze. Looking for Carrose in the middle. It is denied by Lewis and Clark's defense and sent to Foley. Backing down a defender, looks to push it to the middle of the pitch. And now a foul called. This will go against Iowa Central. Lewis and Clark will have it at midfield. Under 25 minutes to go, scoreless match. We saw our first match of the day between Dart and State go scoreless in that first half. Dart and State and Butler. But then 3 goals in that second half for Butler sent the Grizzlies to Friday's semifinal. Long kick, this one near the box. Header just a bit long. Lewis and Clark's Tessa Wagner in there. But once again, that wind blowing that ball long, and not sure if Tessa really had a chance to get her head on it. Medeiros will kick this one away once again. So Butler into the semifinals. If Iowa Central can win, they're in as well. But everybody's still in play right now in Pool C. Big collision at midfield. This will go against Iowa Central. And Arblaze slow to get up. I'm not sure if she's gathering herself or just befuddled at the foul call. But she'll head back at another free kick for Lewis and Clark. Kristen Funk will tee this one up. Everyone at the top of the box here. And Funk ready to go. Her kick, another good line drive. This one in the box, header, this towards the back post, and it's wide. Lewis and Clark a chance there. The header just couldn't quite be steered in. Looked like it was Nicole Howard that tried to send that towards the back post and just missed. Nicole Medeiros diving to her right, but that went nowhere near making its way in. Let's take another look at that as Medeiros boots this one away. Funk teeing it up. And in there, it's headed and just wide left. It was not Nicole Howard that got ahead on it. It was Kaylee Hill, the sophomore from Missouri. This ball out the near side. Lewis and Clark starting to get a feel for this game now. They were slow to start, but here's a takeaway for Iowa Central as I say that. Played for Santos, but it's deflected and back out now for Lewis and Clark. They changed the ball in the middle of the field here. Played back. Sent in. One touch for Howard. Foley settles it. Steps around the defender. Foley on the run, and it's cleared away by Iowa Central's Abby Bishop. Up ahead, Bailey Roche. Some open real estate for her. Trying to get a step around the defender. Hops over on the slide tackle attempt and ends up with some room. Centering ball. Keyed out to the top. Ends up with Arblaze. She's into the box on the left, trying to turn the corner. Has it knocked away once. Still fighting for it, and it's back out to the far side. Lewis and Clark's Jane Skaggs watching Santos there. This ball sent to the far side. A chance, centered. This ball volleyed out the back. And it cannot be run down by Roche. Another dangerous cross here from Iowa Central. Let's take a look at that on the replay here. As this cross is sent in, and they're looking for Bailey Roche, and a nice deflection by Lewis and Clark to knock that one out. Oaten will take care of that. You look back to that last cross, and Kirsten Funk, that is, able to just deflect it enough to keep it away from Roche. Header at midfield. Roballo steps by the first defender, lofted in on that far side. This ball to Peyton Carnes. And it's out the far sideline, so a toss-in coming for Lewis and Clark. 25 minutes gone by first half, 20 minutes to go. We remain scoreless. Lewis and Clark and Iowa Central, the 6-3 matchup, game 2 of our day 3. Iowa Central looking to punch its ticket to semifinal Friday. Lewis and Clark looking to do the same. A win for Lewis and Clark, everyone in Pool C would be 1-1. Ball contested at midfield. Foul called in the middle third. And you look at that Pool C, Laramie County is pretty much eliminated from playoff contention. After losing 4-0, they won 3-1. So they're sitting with a -2 goal differential. No one's going to win this pool with anything worse than that. So Laramie County pretty much done for this tournament. Iowa Central a win, they advance. So in order for Lewis and Clark to advance, they would have to win this game and win it by more than 6 goals to go from a -2 goal differential to better than +4. I guess that would not be true. My math is bad there. They would have to win it by 3 goals at least. Roballo will send this far, make that Arblaze to Roballo on the run. A little bit of open field down there at the far side. As Jordan Brown out there, this pass errant and Carnes controls. At midfield, this one left out the far side, and a throw in to Santos as she looks to set the table. Under 18 minutes to go. Roche. Let it back for Santos. Little give and go there for Santos as she looks to turn the corner. Has a nice angle. This one's centered in the top. They had Roche running towards the net, but it was too far out in front. And the ball out the near side. Last touch by Lewis and Clark. A toss in for Iowa Central. We want to thank you for joining us here on NJCAA TV. Nick Grunowitz in Melbourne, Florida for the NJCAA Women's Soccer Championships. Our second game of day 3, 6-seeded Lewis and Clark and 3rd-seeded Iowa Central. Scoreless for about 30 minutes of play. This one teed up by Care Rose. Headed back out, ball loose in the box. Brown comes up with it and her shot high. A little too far upstairs. Lewis and Clark making a move for a substitution. And in for Lewis and Clark comes Kylie Pelton. The freshman from St. Peters, Missouri. Taking his seat, Tessa Wagner, the sophomore from Edwardsville, Illinois. Kicked away by Lewis and Clark. Ball will make its way out to the midfield line where Care Rose flicks it back ahead. Jordan Brown controls it on her highlighter yellow sneakers. Ball keyed into some open field to the near side. Lewis and Clark will let it roll out. It'll be thrown back in. Sturluson's toss in, knocked back out. Pelton will throw this one. A little bit of a step here. Lewis and Clark with a chance. The top of the box, looking to set the table there, is Kaylee Hill, and she has it knocked away. Iowa Central, Care Rose, Brown, settled well, nicely done by Brown, and she'll circle it back out. They were looking for Roche inside. Here's Bailey Roche again. Pelton closing in on her. Roche. It's a race to the touchline. Center. Back up to the top. Brown looking to chase it down. Knocks it out. Santos in pursuit. Arblaze splitting the defenders. Gets by Foley. Knocked to the ground. They say play on. Now Brown ends up with it. Stepping by one defender. Her center to the top. Knocked back out by Lewis and Clark. Was looking to send it through the box for Care Rose. And Brown off of the deflection had a chance. Let's take a look here with 14:15 to go in the first half. Brown, nice little step back, and you can see Care Rose there, but it's deflected out by Lewis and Clark. Taylor Antert turning it away. We're under 14 minutes to go here in the first half. Into the game for Lewis and Clark is Samantha Fennessy taking a seat. Jane Skaggs. And the newcomer for Iowa Central is Paige Savory, who started this game and now comes back in after a bit of rest. Foley. Iowa Central controls. This is Santos. A little bit open field for her. She's looking to set the table. Sent through the box. No one really there as Raballo hunts it down. Good turn, her shot. Well out of play. Natalie Oten leaves this one off, and Lewis and Clark will kick it away. Santos receives, looking to set it off to Arblaze, and Santos will bring it back out, looking ahead. Here's Raballo. This one behind Savory. 9 goals this year for Paige as she goes to get it. Raballo, blanketed by Whitaker. She'll hand it off to Savory. Once again, Santos will take over here. On the run. To the top of the box. This shot, Oten just knocks it away. It squirts out, but she's able to dive back on top of it. Santos with the shot there. At the 12-minute mark, Iowa Central continuing to kind of create some opportunities. The midfielder play has really been what's gotten it done with Santos and Caros. And here's another chance. Our Blaze, amongst the blue jerseys, will back it off. Back to Our Blaze. Towards that touch line goes Raballo. And Our Blaze will send it all the way back out. Iowa Central still looking for a chance here. This one cued away. Foley, nice little step around the defender, looking for some help. No one out in front. It's 1-on-4 for Foley. She's going to make a run to this near side. Still in control of it. Her cross. No one really there. It's controlled by Iowa Central. We want to remind fans they can keep up with the latest news and updates regarding NJCAA soccer by visiting the official website of the National Junior College Athletic Association at www.njcaa.org. Ball in the top of the box. Savory navigating, taken down in the box. They say play on. Iowa Central fans wanted the foul call there. It would have resulted in a penalty kick, and Savory going down. They'll continue to play. Would have been our third penalty kick if the call had been made of the tournament. Let's take one more look here as Savory weaves her way in and out of the box on this left side. And she's taken down there, and it's cleared away. Anna Whitaker with the play. They'll give the ball back to Iowa Central. Under 10 minutes left, and this one remains scoreless. Iowa Central has dominated the time of possession, is what I would say. Center ball, Jordan Brown there. This ball deflected back over the top of the goal, and Oten comes down with it. Natalie Oten a few times has had to make some plays and slow to get up. For Lewis and Clark is Maria Sturluson. But eventually she'll get up, and now Kirsten Funk will kick this one away. Natalie Oten does not do the goal kicks here. Funk does. And she chunks that one ahead. Foley backing down a defender, has it bound over her head. Another high bouncing ball. The Iowa Central Tritons take control into the top of the box. There's another takedown. They say play on. Ends up with Savory again. Her shot deflected. Ball is loose at the top. Turning and firing again. Another deflection. And this Lewis and Clark defense stands up once again. Peyton Carnes was the one with that second chance. Savory up high. Our Blaze looks to chip it in. Our Blaze battling for it. Jordan Brown there. Now it's poked out by Kylie Pelton. Iowa Central will chip it back in again. Here comes Gonzalez. Weaving through two defenders. Sent out near side. This is Jordan Brown. At the corner. Sends it into the box. The header. Deflection. Diving on it is Oten. Brown with a nice centering shot there, and Iowa Central almost found the back of the net, but Oten with a sliding save. 7.5 to go here in the first half. And this ball will be played all the way back down near the touchline. Here's Abby Bishop. Lost it for a moment. Santos ends up with it. You look at the play of Natalie Oten. A couple of outstanding saves in this first half to keep this game scoreless. Medeiros handles. Up ahead looking for Savory, cleared out by the defense. Here's Foley. Knocked off the ball, this one out the touch line. It goes back to Lewis and Clark. Trailblazers toss it in. Foley, one of the top assist makers in the country, loses it out the sideline there, and it'll go back to Iowa Central. This Lewis and Clark team has had pretty much its set starting rotation all year long. Tim Rooney, 7 players with starts in every game they've played. Coming in, it was all 20, and now all 21. Another 2 with 19 starts, and now 20 coming in as well. So they've had their rotation set. Here's another long ball. Oten comes up and makes the play. One of those players that has not started in all 20 or 19 coming into the tournament. Played back to Iowa Central. And a foul call. This will go against the Tritons. Lewis and Clark will get possession. Funk's kick down the near side. And once again, it catches that wind. It'll blow all the way out that touch line, and it'll be thrown in, make it kicked away by Nicole Medeiros. Iowa Central looking for its 8th straight win after a 4-0 win to open the tournament against Laramie County. We've already seen one team stamp its ticket to Friday's semifinal. That was Butler with a 3-0 win over Darton State. The Grizzlies 2-0 in pool play, and they'll advance. Iowa Central is 1-0 after that win. Laramie County beat this Lewis and Clark team yesterday 3-1. Trailblazers need a win to stay alive and need to win by a wide margin in order to advance. Ball out the far side. This will go back to Iowa Central. Three and a half minutes to go, first half here. This game number 2 of our day. Sent in, our Blaze. Has it go out that far side. This ball will go back to Lewis and Clark. The other 2 later today, Monroe will play Tyler in the 7-2 matchup. Pima, the 8th seed, will take on the top overall seed and host team, Eastern Florida. Oten comes in and takes the ball in a short hop there. Our long kick played ahead. Iowa Central in control for a moment. A player down for Lewis and Clark. That's Tessa Wagner, who's down at midfield, slow to get up, but now has regained herself, kind of limping it off right now, and Medeiros will kick this one away. Some clouds starting to blow in here. This wind continues to blow heavily. It's to the backs of Lewis and Clark. And this play, here comes Howard. Got a step at the top, fighting off one defender, trying to weave her way between the two. Her shot deflected once. Howard a second try, once again turned away. And running out to it here is Carnes on the near side. Her shot, a bender, is wide. Jane Skaggs with the shot that goes wide there. We'll take another look at Howard creating the opportunity there as she ends up near the top of the box, and then Skaggs off the two deflections. Her shot just bends a little bit too wide. And our game remains scoreless. Under 90 seconds to go in the first half. Ball volleyed at midfield. Carros controls. This one sent ahead looking for Savory. She's able to regain it for a moment, but it's kicked out to Santos. At the top of the box. A little over a minute to go. Santos, they try to knock her off the ball. She can't do it. Gets it to Savory. And this is Carros making her shot. Oten trying to dive on it. And that ball out the touchline. No, Oten able to dive on top of it. And she'll hold on. 50 seconds left. A flurry from Iowa Central as we head to the latter part of this first half. Long kick out the near sideline. One more look at Santos trying to put her team on the board. This is Carros. Her shot knocked down. Oten juggling it for a moment and just dives on top of it in front of Tamara Carros. Santos knocking it forward. Now Lewis and Clark searching for maybe a last moment opportunity here. This is Foley, 5 seconds left. Foley near the top, has to pull the trigger. Her shot deflected back out, and this shot wide, and that'll take us to the end of the first half. Closely contested first 45 minutes between these two, Iowa Central and Lewis and Clark. After the first half, we're scoreless. Halftime coverage coming up in just a few moments from Melbourne. You're watching the NJCAA Women's Soccer Championships on NJCAA TV.
This is where we're building the future. This is where we meet the challenge, where leaders emerge and careers take flight. This is where you discover new opportunities. Choose to stand where excellence lives, where titans rise. Eastern Florida State College.
Recently, the Eastern Florida State College women's basketball team held its media day to kick off the new season. Third-year head coach Jim Grimes looks to build upon last season's success.
Well, going to the state tournament last year was a big accomplishment for our program. It had been many years since we were able to do that. Really, the best thing about it was the experience that we were able to gain. So the returning players have already been where we want to be this year, and so that's going to really help us moving forward. As far as our expectations for this season, they're similar to what they were going into last season. You know, we want to have steady improvement. I want to see daily development in the team, and hopefully we can do even more than we did last season. Well, I've been very pleased with how the team has come together. Our chemistry seems to be good. I think this summer really helped us. We didn't have that in past years. We spent a lot of time together this summer, so I think we're far ahead in terms of our chemistry.
Well, we're going to bring a lot of energy this year, a lot more athleticism. It's going to be fun to watch us play. We got a lot of shooters, Emma, Paola. We have Trudy Walker and Kenya coming in, pushing the pace. It's going to be exciting to watch us play this year.
We're very athletic compared to last year. Like, we can go there's a lot. Last year couldn't go full court. This year we can go full court D and everything with no problem. Like, very athletic team.
My expectations are pretty high. I'm very excited. I'm very blessed to be here. It's a great opportunity for me to play for Eastern Florida. It's a great program. I'm really excited to be here. It's a great school, great teammates, great professors, great athletic program. So I'm really excited, and my expectations and hopes are high. I think we're gonna focus on what we need to do, and I think we're gonna do it.
Admission is free, so check the college website for the next home game and come out and support your Titans.
They're going to see a team that plays really hard. They're going to see a team that cares about each other. They're going to play together. And hopefully they're going to see a team that makes really good decisions.
Well, I would tell you think last year was something. Wait till you see this team.
Titan Madness was in the air as the annual event launched the 2015-2016 season for the men's and women's Titans basketball teams. The night began with a skills competition, pitting Titans players against one another in a display of sharpshooting from all over the court. Then it was nothing but net for the men and women as they showed off their shooting prowess in the three-point shooting contest. The Titans men and women then took to the court to face off in the co-ed scrimmage. Finally, the high-flying Titans dazzled the crowd with gravity-defying jams in the crowd-favorite dunk contest. This year, the talented men's team looks to continue its success behind three-time reigning FCSAA Southern Conference Coach of the Year, Jeremy Schulman. Coach Jim Grimes leads the Lady Titans team as they look to repeat as FCSAA Southern Conference champs. Admission to all Titans games is free, so check the schedule for the next home game and come out and support your Titans.
"45 minutes in the books here from Melbourne, our second game of the day here on day 3. And after one half, 6th-seeded Lewis and Clark and 3rd-seeded Iowa Central are scoreless. We welcome you back into the broadcast. Thanks for joining us here on our coverage of the NJCAA Women's Soccer Championships on NJCAA TV. I'm Nick Grunowitz off the east coast of the Sunshine State at the Titan Soccer Complex. First 45 minutes eventful on this one, dominated by Iowa Central offensively, but Lewis and Clark on the defensive end able to turn away any threats from that Titan team. Let's take a look at some of the highlights here. And as I said, it was all opportunities for the Titans. Here, the volley can't get steered back by Santos. Once again, Santos leaves it away. Jordan Brown looking just past that back post as Oten contests. And Santos one more time here, her shot knocked down. Oten able to dive back on it again. Natalie Oten has been impressive in this first half. This is Paige Savory, maybe the best chance of the afternoon, went awry when that could have been called for a penalty and perhaps a penalty shot. And then the corner here deflected, and Oten stands up once again. So that's the first 45 minutes there. You didn't see much of Lewis and Clark offensively, and that's because they only managed 3 shots playing with the wind to their back. They couldn't seem to get any kind of offensive rhythm going. For Iowa Central, they outshoot Lewis and Clark 11-3 in the first half. 2 corner kicks for the Tritons as well. And in that first 45 minutes, we saw exactly what we saw in the first matchup for Iowa Central when they beat Laramie County. The person to keep an eye on for them is number 18 for this Iowa Central team, Lacey Santos, who kind of sets the table for this team, plays in the middle of the field, and she has been very good setting up her teammates. So we saw a couple of good runs ahead by Paige Savory. Freitas as well, and Bailey Roche. Jordan Brown had a chance as well, but they come up empty. The play of goalkeeper Natalie Oaten has been very good. The freshman from St. Charles, Missouri, faces those 11 shots, does not allow a goal in the first 45 minutes. Now, we talked during the first half a little bit about the situation on who would advance to the playoffs. That is the Friday semifinal if Lewis and Clark were to win. Here's how this shakes out in Pool C. Right now, Iowa Central is 1-0. Lewis and Clark is 0-1. And Laramie County, who is done in pool play, is 1-1. So in the event of a Lewis and Clark win, everyone 1-1. The tiebreaker from there is goal differential. Right now, Laramie County is at -2 after winning 3-1 over Lewis and Clark, but losing 4-0 to Iowa Central. So they're basically eliminated after that. For Lewis and Clark, they're sitting in a -2 goal differential. If they were to win, they would have to beat Iowa Central by at least 3 goals to tie that goal differential at +1 with Iowa Central. Then it goes to head-to-head, and we would see the Trailblazers advance. So for Iowa Central, it's a win and advance to Friday. Lewis and Clark, a win, but they have to win by at least 3 goals in order to be playing on Friday afternoon here in Melbourne, Florida. So after the first 45 minutes, Lewis and Clark is going to have to get to work because they don't just need 1 goal to win. They need at least 3 in order to come away with a victory, but not let that win be the final game of their season. 0-0 after 45 minutes in the books here from Melbourne, Florida. As I mentioned, the statistics in this one, 11 shots for Iowa Central. Laramie make that Lewis and Clark with 3 shots. Iowa Central has the 2 corner kicks in this one. Nicole Howard created a couple of opportunities, but the NJCAA leader in goals with 39 could not make much noise. Cassidy Foley as well, who is second in the nation in assists with 21. She was quiet as well for this Trailblazers team. Now they'll switch sides coming in to the second half, and it'll be interesting to see whether or not Lewis and Clark is able to get some more rhythm offensively. We saw that from Butler in the first game of the day as well. But 45 minutes are in the books. This game is scoreless. Second half coverage from Melbourne, Florida of Lewis and Clark and Iowa Central coming up in just a few moments. You're watching the NJCAA Women's Soccer Championships live from Melbourne, Florida on NJCAA TV.
Titan Madness was in the air as the annual event launched the 2015-2016 season for the men's and women's Titans basketball teams. The night began with a skills competition, pitting Titans players against one another in a display of sharpshooting from all over the court. Then it was nothing but net for the men and women as they showed off their shooting prowess in the 3-point shooting contest. The Titans men and women then took to the court to face off in the co-ed scrimmage. Finally, the high-flying Titans dazzled the crowd with gravity-defying jams in the crowd favorite dunk contest. This year, the talented men's team looks to continue its success behind 3-time reigning FCSAA Southern Conference Coach of the Year, Jeremy Schulman. Coach Jim Grimes leads the Lady Titans team as they look to repeat as FCSAA Southern Conference champs. Admission to all Titans games is free, so check the schedule for the next home game and come out and support your Titans.
Eastern Florida State College. This is where you discover new opportunities, where you pursue your dreams, and careers take flight. Apply now for new bachelor and associate degree programs in business, healthcare, computer technology, and other growing fields. Eastern Florida, where Titans rise. Apply today.
Recently, the Eastern Florida State College men's golf team held its 2015 Fall Media Day. Head coach Jamie Howell will need to prepare his players for an ambitious fall schedule that sets the stage for the spring championship season.
Your fall season just gives you an idea of who you are. You know, here's what we're capable of doing, here's where we need to improve, and then you make sure you don't try to do things you're not capable of at this time. So the big issue for me is just letting things play themselves out. You know, literally have the guys prepare and go play at each event and see how we do. You're not going to win if you don't have talent, and even more, you need some chemistry to go with it. So you're looking for guys that are going to fit together. I don't expect them to be best friends forever, but I expect them all to be on the same page, and if we all strive for the same goals, we'll do just fine, even filling those slots every year.
I see a positive being that we are young, but we're eager to build up on experience, eager to build up on being in the heat of the moment like last year. But it's going to be tough, and the positives we have is that Nationals is home. It's not traveling anywhere, and we're going to feel a little more comfortable being around, Brevard County instead of traveling to Kansas or Texas.
Well, I've heard obviously a lot about this program. Obviously, they've got a great history, and obviously being in America, it's great weather, and I feel like coming over here, I'll be able to excel in my game and compete with great players. We have some good sophomores in the team, very good, and if I can learn of what they've done over the last year, it might help me in the next few months developing as a golfer.
Sometimes you feel a little target on your back when you go to tournaments, but like golf is, you can't expect anything. Anybody can win on any given day, and I think that's going to be one of the things we're going to have to learn this year is we've lost a couple of players that really helped us last year, but we're going to be replacing them this year with some good freshmen.
So check out the Eastern Florida State College website and come out and support your Titans.
We're going to try to repeat or if not do better. I mean, the goal is always to win, regardless. I didn't come here to get second place, and I don't think any of the guys did either.
We are ready for second half action in Melbourne, Florida. Third-seeded Iowa Central against sixth-seeded Lewis and Clark. As we get ready for the second half here, the game's scoreless. Welcome you back into the broadcast. Thanks for joining us here on NJCAA TV. I'm Nick Grunowitz. First half dominated by Iowa Central, 11 shots to just 3 for Lewis and Clark. None of them found the back of the net, though, and now these teams will switch sides. We'll see Iowa Central play with the wind to their back, which seemed to kind of interrupt the game earlier. Darton State, that seemed to hurt them rather than help them in the second half. So we'll see exactly what kind of an effect that will have on Iowa Central. Coming out, the Tritons from Iowa Central will move right to left in their white jerseys, blue shorts, high white socks. Lewis and Clark in the blue jerseys, white shorts, and high blue socks. They'll move from left to right. Ball played in. Paige Savory of Iowa Central plays it in, and it's controlled by Lewis and Clark. That first half, closely contested. The defensive back line for Lewis and Clark needs to be congratulated. Taylor Andert, Anna Whitaker, Kirsten Funk, Samantha Fennessy all played some very important roles in keeping this a scoreless affair. And of course, I can't miss mentioning Natalie Oten, who made a couple of very nice saves to keep the goose egg up on the board for Lewis and Clark. To the near side, Roballo. They're going to turn the corner. Back up to the top. Now to the near side, Roballo trying to turn that corner. She chases it to the line. That ball out. It'll be a goal kick for Natalie Oten. The pair that was quiet in the first half, Nicole Howard and Cassidy Foley for Lewis and Clark. We saw the ball get to them quite a bit, but the defense for Iowa Central blanketed them. They had a hard time finding any kind of open field to move in. Here's a ball played out for Lewis and Clark. Back to the near side, Iowa Central controls, and the one lofted out this near side now to play. Up the near sideline. Maria Lagos will get it over to Arblay, sent ahead. They were looking for Savory, sent too far. And Lewis and Clark will take control. Maybe a chance here for the Trailblazers. This one played past Tessa Wagner. And back to the near side for Iowa Central. That one's sent into some empty space, and they'll send it out for Foley. Trying to step by, and Foley has it knocked away. Foley finding a little bit of room here. Has to get rid of it. Looking to the near side. This is Sturluson. Right side of the box. This shot wide, and Medeiros will watch it dump out of bounds. So as we talked about at halftime, Iowa Central a win. They're into the semifinal on Friday. Lewis and Clark can win and still not advance. They have to win and by at least 3 goals in order to advance due to goal differential. A win for Lewis and Clark, everyone in Pool C would be 1-1. Santos looking long for Savory. A lot of roll on this ball, and it's picked up by Oten. Head coach Christiane Lessa in her 4th season looks on. You can hear her constantly shouting out directions for her team. Lewis and Clark taking over here on the attack, looking for Foley in the middle of the pitch. Santos coming over and taking control, looking ahead. This one for Paige Savory to the right side of the box, searching for someone to cross it to. And her cross is deflected out. A throw-in for Savory. She'll quickly start it for Iowa Central. This one knocked out once again, and Savory will toss it in. So a win for Lewis and Clark would make everyone in Pool C 1-1. Laramie County pretty much eliminated with a -2 goal differential. So it would be between Iowa Central and Lewis and Clark. A 3-goal win for Lewis and Clark. They play Friday. Anything but 3 or more, despite a win, they would be going home. Back to Godfrey, Illinois. Ball cleared out the near side. Haley Todd tosses this one in. Controlled by Lewis and Clark on that sideline as both sides fight for possession. Santos, some nifty footwork here at the top. Ball taken away by Lewis and Clark. Deflected out, and now some open space here for the Trailblazers. Sent in, they're looking for Foley. Deflected out. Back out. Kaylee Hill has it taken away. This one deflects to Sturluson. Santos controls. Tritons will play it long. Savory trying to let that one bounce and get around the defender. Comes out the near sideline. Lewis and Clark will make a substitution. Nicole Howard, the nation's leading goal scorer, will check into the game. Samantha Fennessy, the defender, will come out. Tim Rooney bringing in his best forward for a defender, looking for some more offensive opportunities. Sturluson controls midfield, sends it down this near sideline. Played back to Medeiros. A lot of pressure there from Foley. And cleared away by Iowa Central. Two more games after this here today. We'll have played 12 in 3 days at the end of Wednesday. We've already seen Darton State fall to Butler. The Grizzlies move on to Friday. After this, 7-seeded Monroe takes on 2-seeded Tyler. Winner of that match will play Friday. Monroe, the defending national champion. Foley for the cross. This is the first corner kick for Lewis and Clark, and Medeiros comes out and makes the play. Ahead to Santos. Trying to start something quickly here. The one touch looking back to Santos, and a foul against Iowa Central. They get Roballo for that. Gives the ball back to Lewis and Clark. Our final game of the day, 8-seeded Pima will take on the top overall seed and host team, Eastern Florida. That also would be a win and advance game. Pima taking care of Spartanburg Methodist last night. Long ball to midfield. Headed back, Whitaker looks to settle, ends up with Santos again. Ahead, Savory. A lot of open pitch here for Savory, left side of the box. Good change of direction, sending it in. She's got a teammate out there, and Oaten will dive on it. Arblaze out in front, battling for some position, and Oaten coming out and diving on top of it. I was surprised Savory didn't just tee that one up and let it fly. Trying to find Arblaze there, and she was just muscled out by Natalie Oaten. Let's take a look at that last opportunity once again. Savory thought maybe she might pull the trigger there, just a little bit too far. Looking for her teammate. Ball punched out, Lewis and Clark in pursuit. A fight near midfield. Sent to Savory, she's on sides. To that far side, here's a chance. The right side, Jordan Brown shot in the corner. That finds the back of the net, and it's a goal. 1-0 Iowa Central. Jordan Brown's second goal of the tournament gives the Tritons the lead with 36 minutes to go in the second half. This one played out. Brown just let it fly, perfectly placed at that back post. And Brown, the freshman from Utah, gives her team the lead. So now Lewis and Clark in a 1-0 hole. Toss in here for Iowa Central. It's Jordan Brown's 4th goal of the season. Had 2 goals all year long, a pair in 2 games in the tournament. Carrose looking for Santos. She has some open room up ahead. Played it pretty far out in front. It gives Lewis and Clark an opportunity to knock that ball away. Here's Howard. Circling around, sends it out to the near side. Sturluson looking ahead for Tessa Wagner, who's knocked off the ball by the back defensive line of Iowa Central. Roballo able to knock that one away. Here's Lewis and Clark. Howard, dangerous in the open field. Nation's leader in goals. Steps around the defender, lets this one fly, and it is knocked away by Medeiros. Will be a corner kick for Lewis and Clark. And you can see how Howard has ended up with 39 goals. That one had a whole lot of mustard on it. Let's take a look as she cut back, found some open space, and let it fly from the top circle there. And Madero's just quick enough to knock it away. Foley to key this one in from the corner. Sent in near the front, knocked back out. And the Trailblazers will have another corner kick. This will be their third of the game. Did not have any in the first half. 3 here in the second. Foley waiting once again. Plays with that right knee brace. Corner kick. This one near the top. Flicked back towards the back post and cleared away. Carros will send it out to midfield. Savory looked to let it roll, and she did. Going to try to run this one down. And it's cleared out. Carros letting it settle. Here's a little run here. A chance for Iowa Central coming out. Oaten knocks it down. That ball cleared away by the defense of Lewis and Clark. Taylor Andert taking care of that. Nicole Wenzel with the shot. Roballo had some time there. Lofts this one in, knocked away. Oaten again out the back line, and a big collision there. A couple of players slow to get up. Kaylee Hill shaken up after that play a bit. Iowa Central will have its third corner kick of the game. One more time, we'll look at the lofted ball in here again. This is Roballo. She fires this one up, and Oaten turning it away out that back line. Here's the corner kick. Into the center. This ball headed, loose for a moment, and over the top. See who they're going to give this to. It's a goal kick for Lewis and Clark. Natalie Oaten has been under a lot of pressure here in the second half. First half as well, faced 11 shots. 1 goal has gotten by her. It was Jordan Brown, her second of the tournament. Look at that ball move. The wind blowing, that ball rolling back towards the line, just to give you an idea of how heavy that wind is. Kirsten Funk looking to key that one away. Here's a chance for Iowa Central. They try to move it across the field. Let's take one more look at that last goal by Jordan Brown. This is what made it 1-0. Brown on the right side of the angle here takes it over and just goes back post and sneaks it in. Oaten with a nice dive, just couldn't quite get there. 31.5 minutes left. Iowa Central with the 1-0 lead. Up at the top of the post, redirected out the touchline. Savory had a foot on it. And Oaten will once again give it over to Kirsten Funk. So this second half, much like the first, it's been Iowa Central offensively putting a lot of pressure on Lewis and Clark. Foley trying to play it up the near sideline. It's turned away by Lucero Roballo. Sturluson to toss it in. Carros trying to beat it out the near sideline here, or beat to it, that is, before it goes out the sideline. Sturluson will throw it in again. Toss in, Foley looking for some room. A double team comes. Knocked off the ball, and now a foul called. Who will this go against? Lewis and Clark. Abby Bishop contesting there. One kicked away. Sturluson the header. Santos settles it, has it knocked away for a moment. Howard controls for Lewis and Clark. She's going to try to circle around and find some room. Howard chasing down Savory there. Santos going to chunk this one in, looking for Jordan Brown one more time. Run off the ball is Brown. Lewis and Clark clears it away. Nicely done by Taylor Andert, the defender. It's another ball lofted in. Roballo, the intended target, ends up with Roballo. Arblay's the one touch to her. This is Carrose, knocked away from behind, and this ball out the near sideline. It goes to Iowa Central. Arblay's right of the box, sent up to the top. Paige Savory. Roballo. Carrose, little back touch, nice. Center to the top. Cleared away. Foley headed for it. Looking for a little bit of help. Knocked away by Roballo. Sturluson's toss in is headed out of bounds. It'll go right back to Iowa Central. Tritons have not allowed a goal yet in this tournament. A 4-0 win over Laramie County on Monday. They hold a 1-0 advantage with 28 minutes to go in the second half here today. Santos. Roballo keeps it in bounds. Wenzel. Denied, and Roballo will end up with it. Sent to Wenzel on the run towards the touchline. Did she negotiate it inbounds? No. It's a goal kick. Natalie Oten will hand it off once again to Kirsten Funk. And a substitution for Lewis and Clark. Into the ball game, Samantha Fennessy taking a seat is Jane Skaggs. Funk's kick, short one again into the wind. Flicked on. They'll give this to Iowa Central. Tessa Wagner, the last one to touch that ball. This is our third day of action in Melbourne. It's been an entertaining one. We've seen one upset in the tournament. It was this Lewis and Clark team falling to Laramie County yesterday. Sanchez, let's make it Santos. Savory, one-touch Santos. Going to the backside, Arblay's will collect. Savory sends it in, turned away. Headed back. This is where Arblay's waits. Sent towards the front post, it deflects up and off and out the back. So once again, Lewis and Clark will have a goal kick. A little over 26 minutes to go, second half. We do thank you for joining us here on NJCAA TV. You're watching our coverage of the NJCAA Women's Soccer Championships. Sixth-seeded Lewis and Clark looking to rally here as they trail 1-0. Foley on the run. She's knocked out, the ball knocked out. Once again, Iowa Central will control. We've seen closely contested games like the one in front of us here, Iowa Central and Lewis and Clark. We've seen high-scoring affairs. Eastern Florida, who will play later today, put 7 goals up. Monroe, the defending national champion, scored 5 in the first half en route to a 5-2 victory yesterday. Been a little bit of something for everybody in this tournament so far. The game immediately coming up after this, Tyler and Monroe should be an entertaining one. The defending national champion against the 2 seed in this tournament, and Tyler looked pretty good in their game as well, a win over Moraine County. Once again, another goal kick coming for Lewis and Clark. And at this point, Trailblazers are just looking to try to put together any kind of an offensive attack. You saw Lewis and Clark head coach Tim Rooney sitting there on the sideline. Talked about his team when they got here to Melbourne, about them being anxious to start the tournament. They dropped the first game. We're up 1-0 at the half, allowed 3 unanswered goals, have now allowed 4 unanswered goals in the tournament. This team with one of the top goal scorers, with the top goal scorer in the nation, make that. And Nicole Howard. This ball out the near sideline. Speaking of Nicole Howard, she trying to run it down. Sturluson will toss it in. Correction, that's Samantha Fennessy. See Fennessy toss it one more time. To Howard. The goal scored in that Laramie game yesterday off the foot of Howard. This ball centered. Sturluson waiting, trying to settle it. It ends up with Santos to Carros. Scardazzi make that. Sent to Hen Page. Savory, good passing from the Tritons. Looking to turn the corner. Savory, good step into the left side of the box. Looking to send it in, has it deflected. Defender goes down. This ball for the back post. She had Carros there, who leaped up to try to head it, but that ball much too tall. And Iowa Central will throw it in once again. But that goal from Nicole Howard, you see Santos again here, back up to the top. Carros' shot deflected, ball still alive, and Carros sends it too high. Just an onslaught of attack here from Iowa Central. Lewis and Clark trying to just hang in here, and once again, Santos the one that was able to set the table. Let's take another look. Tamara Carros with the shot, but she ends up high. The shot deflected out, and Carros almost ends up with another opportunity with pretty much an open goal in front of her. Natalie Oten was down on the ground. Ball out, they'll give it to Lewis and Clark. Toss ahead. Sent over. This is Foley. Deflects it. She's going to try to chase it down to the sideline. Able to get there. Steps by the defender. Foley. Across. Picked up by Medeiros. 21.5 minutes to go. Lewis and Clark looking to rally, trailing 1-0 in the second half. This ball out the near side. Fans, you can follow all of the action of the 2015 NJCAA Division I Women's Soccer National Championships live on NJCAA TV. Just go online to www.njcaaatv.com to view live and archive video of each game. Relive all the exciting plays and great memories of this year's tournament by visiting www.njcaaatv.com. This game, an entertaining one, 1-0. Iowa Central leads. The difference came here in the second half. They were scoreless after 45 minutes. Then Jordan Brown, her 4th goal of the year, 2nd of the tournament, gave the Tritons the lead. Ball sent in. Savory with another run towards the goal. Oten a little late coming out, but she'll pick it up. The freshman from St. Charles, Missouri. Good look. This is Rabayo. A lot of room for her. Punched away. She'll regain. Back out to the top, Santos. Near the top of the box, this ball sent in, deflected. Santos, the first one, back to it again, and it's cleared away. Iowa Central controls. Ball knocked out of bounds. first to substitution before the toss-in, a player for each team looking to check in. Jane Skaggs for Lewis and Clark. Peyton Carnes in for Iowa Central. There's Carnes checking into the game. Freshman midfielder from Grundy Center, Iowa. Santos. Looking to turn the corner, does. Jordan Brown. Carros. Race to the line, centers. Ball loose. Oten diving into the fray. This ball's going to find the back of the net in the scrum. Coming out of it, Lazy Scardazzi. I believe the one to be credited with the goal. They're congratulating her like she was. That an absolute melee. Oten finally decided to jump in, and it was Scardazzi who ended up picking up the goal, her 8th of the year. Here's Carros directing it back in. And Scardazzi waiting there, Carnes lifting it in the air. And that ball headed near the goal. That almost looked like it went off of Lewis and Clark. It's a tough angle for us there, but Haley Todd may have been the one that sent that one in. Scardazzi, the nearest player. Her and Carnes in there. They will give the goal to Lacey Scardazzi, her 8th of the year, first of the tournament. It's 2-0 Iowa Central in a collision on the right side of the box here. And both players down. For Iowa Central, that's Lacey Freitaz. Well, they collect things here and check out Freitaz. Let's go back to that last goal credited to Scardazzi. Here on the right side, that was the collision. Tessa Wagner, the other to go down. It's 2-0 Iowa Central. Wagner now up. It's Freitaz that is down. She has played a majority of this game for Iowa Central. Talking with the trainer now. Players will use this as a water break as well. We'll see if Freitaz is going to be able to get up. So it's 2-0 Iowa Central. Let's check out that Scardazzi credited goal. This is Carros sent in. Scardazzi got the first touch. It's deflected. Carnes sends it in the air. And that ball headed. And I mean, Scardazzi, the last Iowa Central player to touch it. It's right there for her and Haley Todd. And they'll give it to Scardazzi. So headed in by Lacey, the freshman from Sao Paulo, Brazil, picks up her 8th of the year, first of the tournament. And the Tritons in the driver's seat with 18:10 to go in the second half. A win for Iowa Central. They move on to the playoffs already. 4th-seeded Butler has moved along. All 4 top-seeded teams in business to move on. As Freitaz gets up, she'll walk off with the trainer. After this, 2nd-seeded Tyler from Texas can move on with a win over Monroe. A win for Monroe as well. They would play on Friday. Eastern Florida and Pima, the final game of the day, the 1-8 matchup. We saw Eastern Florida demolish Spartanburg 7-0 on Monday night. That feels like it was forever ago. But just a little less than 48 hours. And Eastern Florida, they've scored the most goals in this tournament. That 7 spot they put up. Paula Astida-Zaran, a hat trick from the Spaniard. Julia Hernandez added a pair of her own. And the foul called against Iowa Central. So A free kick on the right side of the box for the Trailblazers. They set up a wall of 3. The Tritons do. Scoring opportunity for Lewis and Clark. This ball chipped in, left side. Medeiros able to come out and make the play. And now a player down for Lewis and Clark again. Slow to get up is Raballo. Out the near sideline. That one last touched by Lewis and Clark. Anna Whitaker. Substitution for Iowa Central. That's Maria Lagos coming in. Sitting down will be Carros. Carros make that. Looking for Howard. This one sent too far. Pelton couldn't settle it. Lewis and Clark controls Howard on the sideline, saying this ball was out. Who are they going to give it to? Nicole Howard. Tossed in. First they wanted a substitution. They'll play on. Substitution for Lewis and Clark. Kaylee Hill back into the game. Out is Kylie Pelton. Lewis and Clark perhaps playing their final 16 minutes of the 2015 season. Ball chipped in. Trailblazers control. Wanted a handball. Iowa Central did. Skaggs sent back. Middle of the pitch. This one controlled by Iowa Central. This could be trouble. No, it's sent too long. Crisp passing there. It turns into a real scoring opportunity for Iowa Central. Now here's Sturluson. Sent in. Howard, where she scored from yesterday. Can she get a step? Her shot near the top corner. Just wide. We saw Nicole Howard send one in yesterday against Laramie County. The only goal of the game was her 39th of the year. It was near that top of the box as well. Just kind of a turnaround, and she let it fly. And this one nearly bent its way back in. Quick 2 steps. Howard shot just like that, too far. A little bit too high. Nicole Medeiros there with the coverage as well. Not sure if she would have been able to sneak that in even if it had been on target. Played ahead, Sturluson on the run again. They're looking for Howard. This one deflected into the box. Medeiros comes out, makes the play. Kaylee Hill running towards the net in front of Medeiros. Under 15 minutes to go, 2-0 Iowa Central. Here come the Tritons. Scardazzi, her first goal of the tournament coming a few moments ago. She controls middle of the pitch, sent in. Ball picked up by Natalie Oten. Free kick for Iowa Central after the foul. Abby Bishop, the freshman out of Logan, Utah, will handle this. Sent into the top of the box. Scardazzi there, deflects off her. Sent out by the defense, but the wind picks this one up. Is drawing it towards the goal. Raballo looking to volley it. Bit of a collision there. They'll call this a corner kick for Iowa Central, their 4th of the match. Another substitute into the game. Checking in for Iowa Central as Arblaze sets the line up. It's Lucero Roballo that's going to handle that corner into the game for Iowa Central. Is Frenchelle Bryant. Roballo to handle the corner. This one sent in near the front post, deflected. That one finds the back of the net. A beautiful deflection there for Iowa Central, and they lead it 3-0. Peyton Carnes, the freshman from Grundy Center, Iowa, flicked it right into the back of the net. Oaten never had a chance. And the Triton have a 3-0 lead. Look at this ball in. Beautiful deflection right over the right shoulder of Oaten. Carnes extends the lead for Iowa Central with 12:54 left in the second half. And it's looking like this Tritons team is going to walk its way into the semifinal on Friday, the number 3 seed. Carnes' third goal of the year gives Iowa Central a 3-score advantage. They're looking for more. Bryant can't steer it inbounds on the near side. Iowa Central, 4 goals in the win over Laramie County. They've got 3 here this afternoon. Arblaze to Santos. Back to Arblaze. A lot of open field here for Iowa Central. To the far side, this is Jordan Brown, already a goal here in the second half. She'll circle back out, sent to Santos, settles it, sends it back to the middle of the pitch. This one mistouched by Carnes. They get it back to Santos. Feeding Carnes again, was going to try to let that one roll out, and it's defended by Lewis and Clark. Arblaze run off the ball. This one's sent right back in. Carnes looking to settle it. Jordan Brown looking for Carnes again. That one too long. She also had Roballo out there. 3-0 Iowa Central. Little over 11 minutes to go. Second half here in Melbourne, Florida. We appreciate you joining us here on NJCAA TV. I'm Nick Grunowitz. We'll be here all week long at the Titan Soccer Complex in the Melbourne campus of Eastern Florida State for the 2015 NJCAA Women's Soccer Championships. Iowa Central just under 11 minutes away from punching their ticket to Friday's semifinal matchup. All volleyed back in. They'll play it back, and it's miscued by Shelby Lopez, the Ogden, Utah native. Substitution into this ball game for Iowa Central is Roberta Caron. Caron from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Quite a few international players on this team. 9, if I remember, from the last time I counted. Make it 10. Toss in, they're looking for Howard. Plays it off one knee, still trying to control, backing down the defender, able to get a little bit of room here, and then the double team. Down goes Howard. And what's the call here? Howard went down. Is this going to be against Iowa Central? Yes, it's going to set up a free kick. She was not in the box yet. Maybe 6 inches outside of it, just outside of it, if you see where they placed that ball. The difference between Nicole Howard having a free kick from the corner here or a penalty kick. Medeiros steadying herself. Howard sends the shot well high and outside. That ball will make its way into the parking lot, and Howard can't believe it. 39 goals this year. That one, not even close. We're under 9 minutes left in the second half, and a 3-goal lead for Iowa Central. Medeiros to clear this one away. As I mentioned, all 4 top teams, top-seeded teams, in position to clear their way to Friday to make it a all-chalk semifinal in Melbourne. We've already seen Butler stamp its ticket. Iowa Central 8 minutes away from doing just that. This shot is going to find this one just a little bit high. They call her offsides. I believe they did. Excuse me, it's a corner, was deflected. Here's Howard again. That shot, a nice save by Medeiros. Did not see whether or not she got a hand on it, but she did. So a corner here. Hits the front post. They initially said corner for Lewis and Clark, and now another corner for the Trailblazers. This one up, headed wide. Will we have a third straight corner? Lewis and Clark arguing for it. We will. 6th corner of the game for the Trailblazers as they look to set this one up. Foley's volley near the front. Headed ball out front, deflected back out, and we'll see another corner kick here. Nice save by Nicole Medeiros as she was able to jump on that one. 4th straight corner for the Trailblazers as they look to continue to try to find the back of the net here. This one high. Knocked out the back. Race to it. One defender hits the dirt. This one deflected, and they're going to call a handball here. Inside of the box on the left, yes. They're going to call a handball. You see the official calling that, and inside of the box, that'll give a penalty kick to Lewis and Clark. So 4 straight corners for the Trailblazers, and then an inadvertent handball. And it means a penalty kick for Howard. Trailblazers are getting every opportunity they can here to try to find the back of the net against Nicole Medeiros. Howard to line it up. Her shot finds the back of the net. Howard converts on the penalty kick. Gives her around 40 goals on the year, her 2nd goal of the tournament. It cuts the deficit to 2. It's 3-1 Iowa Central with 6:21 to go. It also means Nicole Medeiros will not notch her 10th shutout of the year, though I'm sure that won't matter to the Tritons if they can close this out in the final 6.5 minutes. But that was quite the sequence of events. 4 straight corner kicks, the handball, then the penalty kick. As we'll see a toss in here for Iowa Central. The goal to Nicole Howard. They toss it along. Here comes Iowa Central. Into the corner, played back. This is Raballo. Trying to play for that corner kick. They'll give it a goal kick. Let's go back to that last penalty and then the ensuing penalty kick. Nicole Howard ends up with it. This ball out the back. A defender hits the dirt, the kick up, and just the reaction from the defender, hits the hand, and Nicole Howard finds the back of the net, beating Nicole Medeiros to the goalie's right. Ball volleyed in the middle of the pitch. Here's Howard again, sent ahead. Looking for some help, cannot find it. That one for Sturluson. Bryant of Iowa Central. Under 5 minutes left, second half. Ball sent long. Lagos into the corner. Ball knocked out of bounds, and Iowa Central will bring in some fresh legs. Lisi Santos in. Throw in Lagos will handle it from just in front of the corner, just up the line. They get it to Santos. She turns the corner, a little bit of open field for her. Dishes to the top. Knocked out. Here's Raballo looking to tee it up. Has it knocked away. Sturluson sending it ahead. Howard, a little bit of a late jump on it. She stumbles. Now here comes Howard. 3 defenders around her. Has it knocked away. Able to regain, and it's kicked out this near side. Iowa Central falling back into what I would equate to the prevent defense there. They have a defender playing center field in the middle third, and then 2 defenders blanketing Nicole Howard, who just notched her NJCAA leading 40th goal of the year on that last penalty kick. 3.5 minutes left. Checking in for Iowa Central, Alyssa Montoya. But if you look at the way this defense is set up, Shelby Lopez, the freshman from Ogden, Utah, playing right out in front of the goal. She's just playing center field right now. Doesn't want to allow a break. Nothing easy for this Trailblazers team. Ball rolls out that far side. Blaze to toss it in. Under 3 minutes to go. Trailblazers looking to rally. Then again, they do need to win this one by 3 goals in order to advance to Friday, so that would be an impressive feat. Blaze. Nifty footwork to Bryant at the top, cleared away by Lewis and Clark. Up the far side. The game immediately following this one, second-seeded Tyler will take on the 7-seed Monroe, the defending national champion Monroe. They won on this field last year to take home the trophy, beating Iowa Western. Chipped in, this is Bryant. Playing to the top. Skip to the far side. Montoya. Her shot. Picked up by Oten. Under 2 minutes left. Final game of the night will be Pima in Eastern Florida. But that Monroe-Tyler game should be a good one. Those two scored a combined 9 goals in their first game. 4 for Tyler, 5 for Monroe. All 5 of those came in the first half. Howard trying to sidestep the defender. Sturluson. Under 90 seconds left. Lewis and Clark trails 3-1. Turning the corner, Sturluson centers it up. Denied by this Iowa Central defense that has been good all afternoon long. Up to the top. This shot sent in. Medeiros collects it. .60 seconds left in this second half. Iowa Central a minute away from advancing to Friday's semifinal and just 2 wins away from a national championship. Santos. She's been a big part of all 3 of the goals scored today. Looking to feed it inside, this ball out the back line. We're under 30 seconds to go. And another substitution. Bryant will come out. checking into the game, Ruth Estrada, and a corner kick. 5th of the afternoon for Iowa Central. This one sent in. Oten misplayed it. That was almost another goal here late. And it's picked up. This will take us to the end of the second half. Final 3-1. Iowa Central moves to 16-1, their 8th straight win, and will play on Friday in the semifinal. 2 tickets punched, 2 more as well. The game immediately following this, we'll see Monroe and Tyler here in Melbourne. You're watching the NJCAA Women's Soccer Championships here live in Melbourne on NJCAA TV.